Good evening. Good evening. Today was a busy day, so I'm just getting to the computer maybe about 5, 7 minutes ago. So apologize if you couldn't come early to get any additional assistance. So I know Penny, you said you want to go over some slope. All right, so let me go over the common ones you may see. Here's a one with the point and the slope. Can everybody see number one?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody know how I would do this problem? So they give you a point and they give you a slope. So they're going to give you a question like this. You're going to have 1, 2, maybe even 3 that's very similar. So you're going to have a point and a slope, and then they might also ask you, given a point and a slope, what's the equation of a parallel perpendicular? So be ready for all 3. But how will we start this problem if I'm given a point in the slope?
With the formula y equal mx plus b.
Okay, so y equal mx plus b.
Yeah. We will have the slope -2, and we're gonna plug 4 minus 4.
What do you mean plug them in? So my 4 minus 4, what is that? My what?
X and y.
X and y. Perfect. So when you say plug it in, what is y going to be?
-4.
-4 equal. My slope is what?
-2.
-2. And I'm going to multiply that by what?
By 4.
By 4, which is my x plus b. Okay, so all we did was identify that we're given a point, identify that we're given a slope, understand that slope, the variable used for slope is m. When we're given a point, we're given x and y. So all we did was substitute those values in. So we get -4 is equal to, what's -2 times 4?
-8.
-8 plus b. In order to get b by itself, what must we do?
We're gonna add 8.
We're going to add 8 to both sides.
Yeah.
What is 8 minus 4?
It's 4.
4 equal to 8's cancel. We got b. So if
B.
I know my b is 4 and my slope is -2, what's going to be my equation of the line?
Y equal -2 plus 4.
-2 what?
X.
-2x plus 4. Can't forget that x. So that's how you find the equation of a line given the point and the slope. How about that, Penny? You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anybody else that did not understand step by step how we solved that problem?
Yeah,
okay, good. Good. Okay. Now, okay, so write the equation of the line from 2 points. How would we do that? Wow. Now, I'm not, of course, if you got the eBook, you should know how to put that in and get the equation line in less than 15 seconds. But right now, what I'm talking about is how would we do this by hand?
We
need to get slope first.
Use the formula.
What formula?
The y1, x1, y1, that formula. I can't.
M equal y2 minus y.
Right.
X1, y1, y2, x2.
So make sure we understand what order it's in. It's y2 minus y1
right
over x2 minus x1. You cannot get those confused. A lot of people, for some reason, put x2 minus x1 on the top. This is the formula. You don't have, you should know how to use it. But remember, you don't have to remember it. You can just use your formula sheet.
Yeah.
But knowing when to use it is important. So what is considered my x1 and y1?
The
one form.
Yeah. x1, y1, x2, y2. Yes.
Perfect. Now, to me, I would just plug them in using my calculator, but we're going to do them by hand. So we got y2, which is what again?
Y2 is 2
Minus, what is y1?
minus 4,
Minus 4. X2 is what?
negative 4,
Negative 4 minus, what's
negative 1,
x1?
negative 1.
Now, if you notice, just for habit, what I do is if I have a negative number here, I put it in parentheses. That way I won't get confused with the negative sign in the formula
Okay.
and the negative sign for the number. So 2 minus 4 is what?
2.
You sure about
Minus,
Oh,
minus,
negative 2.
that? Negative
yes.
2.
Sorry.
And then 2 negatives make a what?
Positive.
Positive.
Yes.
So we get minus 2. And what is minus 4 plus 1?
Negative 3,
-3.
Negative 3. And 2 negatives make a what?
positive.
So the slope of the
2 over
line
2.
that passes through minus 1, 4 and minus 4, 2 is 2/3. So the slope is 2/3. Are we done?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
If you're
Because
looking for the slope, yeah, that's you done right there.
But we're not just looking for the slope. What do I want?
You want the
the equation.
yeah,
Mhm.
you want the X too, the Y and the X.
So not the y and the x, because we already have the x's and y. We found
Okay.
m, which is the slope. So two things we need for the equation of a line. We need the slope, and
2
we also
points.
need what?
2 points. 2 points.
Y-intercept.
The y-intercept.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
So anytime for equation line, we need the slope and the y-intercept. Now that we know the slope, and I don't like this problem at all.
Uh-oh.
Not at all. Because 2/3 times, it's gonna come out with a fraction, but we'll still do it. I'll do it. Now
Okay.
you don't have to, don't expect this on the GED. On the GED, they're gonna work out to either common fractions or whole numbers, but we'll work it out. So again, we're gonna do the same thing we just did. Y equal mx plus b, because now we know the slope and we know a point, but it doesn't matter what point we use. So I'm going to use the first point, -1 and 4. So I'm going to use the point -1 and 4. So y is 4, equal the slope is 2/3, x is -1 plus b. And the reason why I don't like this because it doesn't work out to a whole number. So I probably should have looked at it before I did it. But 4, I'm gonna come over here. 4 equal -2/3 plus b. In order to get b by itself, I had to add 2/3.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 4 2/3 equal b. Now we got to turn that to an improper fraction. How do we change 4 2/3 to an improper fraction?
It's gonna be 14 over 3.
14 over 3. How did you do that?
I plug it in my calculator over 2 over 3.
You put it
Yeah.
over. You put it in your calculator. Well, how we do it by hand is you want to multiply 3 times 4.
4 is 12.
Add 2.
3 times 4
Yeah.
and not 2.
Yeah, it's 14.
Add 2.
Right. So your b is 14/3. So if my b is 14/3 and my slope is 2/3, where's my equation of the line?
You got that is y equals 2/3 x plus 14 over 3.
There we go, right there. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay. These are 2 problems you're guaranteed to see. So they're gonna give you a point and a slope and want the equation of line, and they're gonna give you 2 points. They're either gonna want the slope or the equation line. Sometimes you'll have both. So again, what I would say, just using these 2 examples right here, these 2 problems, you're going to get about 4 to 5 problems just knowing how to do those. So make sure you know how to do it. Okay, so that's
how
pretty
you put
easy.
it in your calculator? How you use it in your calculator?
Okay, so that's why you make sure you go in the eBook and make sure you know how to do it.
Well, okay, because I want to order one.
Most definitely. So yes, it's a much easier way to do these with the calculator. You can actually put the x and y values into your calculator, and it'll give you the slope and the y-intercept.
Okay.
So let's find an equation of a line. So what they're going to do here is they're going to give you an equation of a line. So for example, let me see what this. Ooh. So hold on, let me let the next person in. There we go. Let me make this. I want the negative one. They don't have any negative, but I'll do this one. You make it nice and big so everybody can see it. So what they're going to do is they're going to give you an equation of a line. And then you have to pick the graph that is associated with that equation of the line. So what I want to do here is using this graph, how do we find the equation of the line? First of all, you're going to rewind. And you're going to remember what Mr. Tinsley said. They want the equation of the line. They need two things, which is what?
2 points.
2 points.
When you want the equation line, what two things do we need to know?
Where the point is intersected at.
And what is that called?
Rise over run.
So
yeah,
what is
rise
that
over
called?
run.
What is rise over run
Rise
is
over
called
run.
what? What is rise over run called?
Slope.
And the slope.
Slope.
Yeah.
Slope.
Okay.
So this is what you need to be thinking of. If they ask you for an equation of line, the first thing you need to be thinking of is y
Slope
equal mx plus b.
plus b. Yeah.
So if you understand that, the two things we need from that, m is called our slope,
Slope.
and our b is our y
Y
intercept.
intersect. Okay.
So those are the two things you need to find the equation of line. Now, from 2 points, you can find this slope. From 2 points, you can also find, so this is all related to what we just did. But if you're given a graph, can we easily tell what the y-intercept is? Well, first of all, let me ask you this. Is this slope a positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive.
How do you know it's positive?
Because
Because
when
it's
you
left to
write
right, it
slope
is
from
going
left
to
to
right.
right.
Yeah.
I love it when so many
Positive.
people answer it correctly, because from left to right, it is going up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Up.
So
Yeah.
right away, Mr. Tinsley, you keep saying that all the time. They don't ever ask for that. The reason why I say that is because remember, when you take this test, you're going to get anxious, right? Things are going to get convoluted. You're going to be sweaty. You're going to be nervous. Well, if you can tell whether it's positive or negative, you probably can get rid of two multiple choices right away. Right away. Just knowing from left to right that it's going up, you're going to have a positive slope. You'll be able to eliminate two answers right away. So we know the slope is positive. What is our y-intercept from this graph?
-3. -3.
-3.
-3. You can see that immediately. It's no work for you to do. So if you know your y-intercept is 3, you can look at your answers and look which one has a positive slope, which one has a y-intercept, and a lot of times you can eliminate 3 of those questions just by knowing the slope is positive and negative and the y-intercept. But the last step is to find the slope. Now I heard somebody tell me rise over run. You are 100% correct.
3/2.
But what do we need? What do we need to find the slope? How many points do we need?
2
You gotta
points.
go up.
2.
2. So we also need a second point, correct?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, look at this one right here. Wow.
Mhm.
So what's going to be my second point?
You're gonna go up.
How many?
You know, 5. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna go
Not
up 5.
1, 2, 3. You think 5?
That's what it ain't it?
Is
Yes.
that point directly
No,
on the
wait.
whole number?
Let me
It's
see.
3. It's 3/2. No.
So let
3
me
over
ask you
2.
this. So this is why I like this question right here. Is this
I
directly
mean,
on
look.
that 2?
Yes. This is a point.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
So hold on. Let me undo.
Let me go
Let me make
up.
this a little bit bigger,
1, 2,
because I need
3.
you really to see it carefully, because this is where people make the mistake.
I'm on my
That
phone.
point,
This is crazy.
this point has to be, it
On the
has to
line.
be directly on. I
1,
don't know
2,
why
3.
I'm having problems increasing the zoom. There we go.
There we
So
go. Now I can see it.
now, if you notice, I'm gonna have to move this dot. I'm gonna have to move my point first. Hold on. Give me a quick second. Hold on for 1 second. Let me move this. Move it back down here.
Right.
So we know our y-intercept is -3. But
2, 3.
this is where people make the mistake.
You
This
go
is
up
not
3.
directly on the x, is it? It's not on 2. See that little gap in between? Can you see that little gap?
Yeah, that's why I
Yes.
said it's okay. Go
Now,
ahead.
when we look at this one, is it directly on the y at 2?
Oh no.
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 So the point Jay want to use is all the way up here.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Okay.
exactly. So you have to look at it carefully. It has to be, when you look at the
Okay.
second point for rise and run, that point has to be on the whole number for x and y.
That's like 8 up.
I don't know. Let's count. Let's count.
Yeah.
Oops. Let's count. Help me. Help. Hold
Okay.
on. Let me undo.
8.
Is
Let's
8
count.
up?
1,
over
2,
1, 2,
3,
3,
4,
4,
5,
5,
6, 7,
6,
8.
7, 8. And then we
8
Okay.
gotta
over
go
5.
over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. So our rise is 8 over 8. Our run is 5. Our slope is going to be what?
What is it? Is
Uh,
it wait a minute. Oh, our slope is 8 over 5x.
Our slope is 8 over 5. No, our slope is 8 over 5.
over
That's
5.
it. Our
8 over 5.
y-intercept is what?
Minus
-3.
3.
-3.
-3. So if our slope is 8/5 and our
Okay.
y-intercept is -3, what's our equation of the line?
Y equals 8 over 5x plus -3.
Minus -3.
Negative 3.
I said -3.
Minus
Negative.
3.
So what you said was y equal 8/5 x plus
8
a minus
over 5.
3.
8
It's
over
negative.
5x.
So that's right. But you're not going to see it like that. You're not going to see plus or minus 3. What does a plus and a minus make? What does a plus?
Minus.
A minus. So what you're
Minus.
going to see is this. So
Yeah.
you don't have to do that
Say
plus
plus.
minus. All you got to know is when you got that y-intercept
Mm-hmm.
right there and that slope right there. Got me?
Yes, and you know why I do it? Because I'm so thinking about the mx
Y
plus
equal
b.
mx plus b.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yes.
You can still
Mhm.
think about that. But remember, when you got that plus minus, you're not going to see it that way. That plus and
Right.
minus make it negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let me see. I think, do I got any parallels on here? Parallel perpendicular
yeah.
problems on here? Yeah,
Oh,
let's see. Let me see. No, I don't have any parallel or perpendicular problems on here. 8/5 x minus 3. They go to answer right there. 8/5 x minus 3.
Mhm.
So I don't have any parallel and perpendicular problems on here. There we go. There we go. Right there. There we go. Right there. Okay. So let's try one parallel and one perpendicular.
Okay.
So we're going to look at number 17. Can everybody see number 17?
Yeah.
So now, if you notice, they cut this short. What you're going to see is, what is the equation of the line that runs through or passes through 4, 2, and that's parallel to the equation y equal -3/4 x minus 5. So when you see it, it's going to be like a paragraph. So understand that this question and that long paragraph that you're going to see in the test are still the same thing. Okay. So first of all, the first thing you should be thinking of, what do I know? You always, that's the first thing you're asking. What do I know? What's given? So if I ask you for number 17, what do you know?
Parallel line, you have the same slope.
It's the same. Yeah.
So first, that's most important. They're asking you about parallel. So let me
Yes.
change back to red. I'm sorry. The red comes better on the video. Parallel lines have the same slope.
Same slope.
So that's perfect. That's the first thing. What is the net? What information is given? They give you a point, they give you an equation. What else can we ascertain from the things they give us?
Plug it in the
The X
formula.
and the Y, the
equal
point, the
mx.
4, 2. X and
Right.
the Y.
They give us the X and the Y, the 4 and the 2. Perfect.
Mhm.
Now they give us an equation. Can we find the slope from this equation?
-3/4.
So the
That's the same.
slope is -3/4. So what we understand is we're looking for another equation, but since it's parallel, guess what we know? We already know that a line that is parallel to this line is going to start y equal negative 3/4 x.
Yes.
We know it already. That's the advantage you have because they have multiple choice. So if you only see one equation that starts with y equal minus 3/4 x, you're done. Answer that, select that, and you're going. But now they have more than one equation that starts with y equal minus 3/4 x. Now you got to use the slope and that point to find the y-intercept. We just did that 3 times. Hold on, Mr. Tisley. So you're telling me if I know how to find the equation of a line from a point and a slope, I also can do this parallel problem? Yes. So y equal mx plus b. What is our y?
Our y is 2.
Our y is 2. What's our slope?
Negative 3 over 4.
Over 4.
We're going to multiply that by x. What is x?
X is 4.
4.
Now, is 4 over 1 and 4 the same thing?
Yeah.
Why am I, if x is 4, why am I putting 4 over 1? I like honesty. I love it, love it. The reason why I'm putting 4 over 1 is because I've seen a lot of students make the mistake. When they're multiplying by a whole number, they'll make a mistake. What you should see right now is that a 4 is on the bottom, a 4 is on the top. What happens to those two 4s?
They cancel out.
They're going to cancel out. So now that those 4 cancel out, now you see what's left, which is what? Negative
Minus
3 over
1.
1 plus b.
Plus
So now
b.
we know that any improper fraction over 1 is just that whole number. So we got 2 equal negative 3 plus b. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Yes.
How are we going to get the b by itself?
We're going to add 3 both sides.
Yeah.
3 both sides.
We're going to add 3 to both
3 to
sides.
both
Now I'm
sides.
running out of room, so I have to move over here. So we're going to get 5 is equal to the 3's are going to
B.
cancel is b. So
B.
if we know b, hold on, someone is trying to get in.
Okay.
Here we go. If we know b is 5 and we know our slope is negative
Minus
3/4,
4.
what is our equation going to be?
Y equal minus 3 over 4x plus 5.
5. Yeah.
Stop playing.
Yes,
I just gave you tonight. I just gave you 5 to 6 questions. Did I just see Sheila come in?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Did you want to tell the class the good news?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I passed it, y'all. I'm done. I'm finally done. Thank God.
Congratulations.
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 Thank you.
So
It felt
any-
like, the weight lifted off my chest and I can finally breathe freely now.
So real quickly, what advice would you give to your classmates here? What advice would you give?
The advice I would give is really, if you don't know the answer to a specific question, do not waste your time at all. Just pick a random answer, or whatever is educated, answer you think, and just go from there and flag it. But if you like absolutely cannot figure out what it is, or how to solve it, just move on.
That advice is important, and I say it all the time. First of all, understand that you're going to get easy, medium, hard. Those are the 3 categories of the questions. So those difficult questions that you may have to spend 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes on. The advice she just repeated again is very, very important. Flag it for review, skip it, come back to it once you finish the exam. If you know you don't know how to do it, select the answer, move on. Now, you still flag it for review, because if you use the eBook and use the calculator, what you should have when you finish the exam, you should have 40 to 60 minutes left. And then you can revisit those ones that are more difficult.
Yes,
okay, so
true.
that is very good advice. So thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate your time, and you know, everybody, y'all got this. You're gonna get there. I mean, hard work truly pays off. Like it paid off for me. So you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Did
thank
you
you.
remember any equation? Did you remember anything from the test?
Oh no, can't do
Yes.
that. We can't do that though. She
Oh,
can tell you what type of she can tell you what type of questions, but she
No,
can't tell you specific
no.
questions. Now, I can't tell you what to do when you're not with me. I can't tell you that. But here we not can't talk about specific questions, but we can talk about the type of questions you
No
might
cheating.
see.
yeah. Well, I can't because I don't want you to get in trouble. So
Oh, they got no
No.
perpendicular problems on here. They only got parallel. Ah. All right, so let me see. Let me look at something and see if I can.
but I'm gonna stick around. I miss learning, so you know.
Oh,
Oh,
no problem at
wow.
all. No problem. I love it. I love it. I have someone who just contacted me. She wants to get ready for the TEAS test. So she's been doing the same thing. She's still in school G practicing. So I don't have any problem with that. So remember, each one of you, even though most of you I haven't met or haven't seen, what I want you to do is I want you to keep in touch. Like once you pass it, get your diploma, tell me what's next. And if I can help you with what's next in your journey, I'll help you with that. I don't have any problem with that. My goal is to help as many people as I can. All right, so I'm gonna change this up. I'm gonna change this problem up. And instead of parallel, I'm gonna change it to perpendicular. So this is, so instead of what is the equation of line that's parallel to this equation, I'm gonna change it up and say it passes through, what is the equation of the line that passes through -4 minus 1 and is perpendicular to y equal -1/2 x minus 1. Okay, so again, you're gonna start each problem. I don't care what the problem is. Identify what you know, identify the givens, and what do they want. So we know they want the equation of the perpendicular line. What do we know?
We need to flip.
And yeah, change the sign and flip it.
Yeah.
So well, first of all, let's find the slope
Okay.
of this equation. What is the
1/2.
slope?
The slope is 2.
Yeah.
So the
Okay,
slope of
2
this equation is
is
-1/2.
1/2. Yes.
But we need to flip it. It's gonna be
So
2.
what is the slope of the perpendicular?
It's going to be -2/1.
Not -2/1.
It's 2.
Neg-
1/2
negative.
or 2/1.
We got to change it. Okay, so it's going to be 2/-1.
Positive.
2/1. 2/1.
2/1. Okay.
So we
2
want to
over 1.
change the sign. I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. So if you want to find the slope of the perpendicular, you take the negative inverse, but I'm gonna put it in layman's terms. You
Okay.
change the sign and flip it. So this is why you always find the slope of the original equation, so you can see it. I know the slope of the original equation is -1/2. Now,
Right.
the opposite of negative is what?
2/1.
Is positive.
Positive.
It's positive.
2
And
over
then
1.
if we flip it, it's 2/1, and 2/1 is what?
2.
2. So we know the slope of the perpendicular is 2. So the first thing we're going to do is look at our multiple choice and see if there's one equation that starts with y equal 2x.
Yes.
Because you may not have to figure out what the y-intercept is. Once you know the slope of the perpendicular, look at your multiple choice. It's probably only one equation that starts with y equal 2x. You might not even have to find the y-intercept. Okay, that's another point. Usually on the sheet, that's why I tell you, if you pass my assessments, if you pass my quizzes, if you pass my practice GEDs, they're a little bit harder than the actual GED. So if you consistently have over a 60 on my practice exams, you're probably ready to take the exam, because mine are a little harder. Why? It's because I want to see if you really know it. I don't, because what I found out what a lot of people do is they just take all the practice tests 3, 4, 5, 6 times, remember the answers, and then when they get something different on the test, they totally lost. That's not what we're doing. I want you to have a good conceptual understanding. You're going to practice. So when you get to that test, I want you finishing that test, hopefully within 60 minutes, and you have another 40 to 60 minutes to be able to go back through the most difficult problems, any problems you flag. So what else do we know? So we know the slope was -1/2. We know the slope of the perpendicular is 2. What else do we know?
X and Y.
X and Y. And we're going to do the same exact thing that we've been doing. Y
Yes.
equal mx plus
X
b.
plus B.
This equation piece should be stamped on your brain. Our y is -1. Our slope is what?
It's 2.
It's 2.
2. We're
2
going to
times
multiply that by x. What's x?
Minus 4
-4.
-4 plus b.
plus B.
So we're going to bring down the -1. We're going to bring down the equal. What is 2
Minus
times
8.
-4?
Minus 8
Negative
-8
plus
plus
B.
b. In order to get b by itself, what do we need to
We're
do?
gonna add
Plus
8.
8.
Add 8.
Plus 8.
Add 8 to both sides. What is 8 minus 1?
7.
7 equal to
7.
b. The 8's cancel. So we know
Yes.
our y-intercept is 7. Our slope is 2. What is the
Mhm.
equation of the line that is
Y.
perpendicular? Hold
Y
on, let me get
equal
my- y equal
mx plus B.
y equal mx plus b. You're right. You always start with that. But what's our equation?
You say y
It's
equals, is
2
it the 2 over 1
2
x
x
or 2x plus 7?
2x plus 7. Yeah.
There we go. I just gave you 5 to 7 problems on your exam right now. So if you score like a 141, 142, and you look at your practice test and you got these questions incorrect and you know how to do them now, go take another practice test and see what you get. Most people fail the GED exam because of linear equations. So if you go into your actual exam or your last practice exam and you see that you missed 5, 6, 7, 8 linear equations, that's where you're going to focus first. Make sure you understand those, then take another practice. You might be ready before 30 days or 60 days. But it's important to identify what you need to study the most and first. Everybody understand that? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So now the next question that I got in an email was this. Let me go to a blank page and write it out. And let's see if we can figure it out together first. And now this is on one of my assessments in Schoology. Let's see, let me go here. And I'm gonna paste the actual same problem in. And what is the radius? What is the diameter? What is the area? What is the area of the floor? So I asked you 3 questions here. On the GED, you're probably only gonna get one of these. They're either gonna ask you for the radius, they're gonna ask you for the diameter, or they might ask you for the area of the floor, given this information. What I'm trying to do is, if you're familiar with it and you use the practice in my ebook, when you get a question, you'll be able to determine the radius, diameter, and area. So if you can answer all 3, when you get on an exam, it's easy money. Okay, I have no idea how to do this problem. Can somebody please help me? I have no idea how to even start.
We're gonna start with the
The
formula.
radius
You need the
is
formula.
half the diameter.
What formula?
The circumference for the circumference.
So that's the first thing you got to do is identify what's given. You have a circular tent, so it's a circle.
Yes.
They also gave you the circumference. So
Yeah.
always identify what's given first. That's going to give you a roadmap of how to figure it out. So by knowing the circle, we're going to look on our formula sheet and find the area and circumference of a circle. But we don't need area, right? Because they gave us circumference, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So what formula should we use? The area or the circumference?
Circumference.
Okay,
2
what is
pi
the
r.
area?
2 pi r.
And what's the other, what other formula can we use to find the circumference?
Pi times D.
Pi times D.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. And I go over this in my ebook, but I want to show you something that's spectacular. Right? So again, we understand how to do algebra now because you've been coming to my sessions, you read my ebook, you've been practicing on Schoology, right? If we look at this second equation, we can easily solve for the diameter. How can I get the diameter by itself? What do I need to do to get D all by itself?
Get rid of
Divide pi.
E
Divide by
Divide
pi.
by pi.
So now,
on
the
both
pi's cancel. We get
Mhm.
D is equal to C divided by pi. Do we know what pi is?
It's
Pi is
3.14.
3.14. Do we know what C is?
Yes, 188.
There you go. Yeah.
So what I want you to do is if you have your calculator, I want you to do 188.4 divided by 3.14 and tell me what you get.
Okay. 1, 8, 4, divide by. I got 60.
Okay. Did anybody else get 60?
Me, I got 30 in the results. 30 equal R.
Okay, so you gave me two different answers. So first somebody said the D is 60. Then you said the radius is 30.
Yes.
Are they both correct?
Yeah, I used the first formula.
But what I want, use the first formula. Okay, that's fine.
The diameter is 60, and I believe the radius is 30 because you have to
Yeah,
divide to get the
divide by-
radius. You have to divide by 2.
Get this knowledge being spread tonight. I love it. So understand what we did. The reason why I chose that second formula, because I heard somebody say they used the first formula, right? And that's fine. You can use the first formula. But how many steps did we take to find the diameter? All we did was take the circumference and divide by pi. That's easy. But we should also know that the radius is half the diameter. So 60 divided by 2 is what?
30.
30. So we know our radius, which is 30 feet. We know our diameter is 60 feet. And how do we find the area of this circle? What is the formula for area of a circle?
Ain't that the C equals to, oh.
Can somebody tell me? You can use your formula sheet. What is the area of a circle?
Area of a circle, it's pi times R squared.
Yeah, that's the C too. Okay.
No, that is not the C. That's
Not
C
C.
stands for circumference.
Sorry.
A stands for area.
Right.
So, do we know what pi is?
3.14.
3.14.
Do we know what the radius is?
The radius is
30.
30.
30.
Put that in your calculator. Tell me what you get.
Okay. Let me make sure. I'm gonna make sure I get this right.
I got 2,826.
That's what I got. 2826. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Perfect. So listen, this right here is one of the most missed questions on the GED. What is the radius, diameter, or area of a circle given the circumference? Or what is the radius, diameter, or circumference given the area? Make sure you use Schoology. It's almost a guaranteed questions because this is why. This is what you got to realize. Most missed questions. Where are you? Here we go, right here. What you have to understand is this is not even the one I was looking for. Wow. But let me show you. They wouldn't have a document that says the most missed questions on the GED if those questions weren't on the GED. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
So you got to use that to your advantage. If they're giving you a document that tells you the most missed questions on the GED, you can expect those questions to be on the GED. So compute the area and circumference of circles in every class, in every school, your teacher goes over those. Everybody should know those two formulas. C equal 2 pi r or C equal pi times d. Area equal pi r squared. These are formulas you have to know. Why? Because they're guaranteed to be on the GED exam. But look at what they also give you. Find the radius or diameter of a circle when given the area or the circumference. So you have to be ready for it. It's one of the most missed questions. You can expect to see it. Okay, so be prepared. So right now, again, what you should be thinking, you should be kind of excited tonight, because if you took your last test or you took your practice test and you looking at your practice test and you see a location of the coordinate plane, slope between the table graph and whatever, linear equation this, linear equation that, find the area of the circle or find diameter radius. And if you're counting that you got 6 or 7 of those problems wrong, you should be excited. Because what you should be saying is, wow, it shouldn't take me long to master these skills because Mr. Tinsley just showed me how to do them all. So you know what? I'm going to watch this video and the videos that he has until I got it down. And once I think I got it down, then I'm going to go into his site and I'm going to make sure I get an 80 or above on each section of linear equations. Because what I've noticed since I've been doing this since 2015, the area that gives the most problems to students is linear equations. And the fact there's 5 to 10 questions that are on linear equations, that means that's all up to almost a quarter of your exam. Hold on, Mr. Tinsley. Well, you only need a 58 to pass. Right, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So use your practice test or your last test as a prescription on what to study. So you can go use my videos, you can use Schoology to practice, but use your practice test that you have so you can identify what you need. You may not need all the things we're going over. You only may need some. So use your practice test, use your most recent test to decide what you're going to study. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, any other questions? So we went over some linear equations. I think, who is student JC? Are you new?
Yes, I'm new.
Okay, so make sure you put your email in the chat so I can send you this video, because after the session is over, I convert it to a YouTube video and I send you the link for tonight's session. So if you ever need to go over this work again, you'll be able to. All right, so now it's already 6:45. So is there any other, oh, I know it was, which one was I looking for? Oh, it was
I learned some new things tonight, so I would like tonight's session as well.
okay. I am so glad. I love it when I, I was helping somebody with some trigonometry, helping them study trigonometry. So that's not what I wanted. I wanted, let me try to find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sorry. Oh, is this it right here? Yes, here it is. Yes. I don't want to show the answers yet. Okay. Look at this question. Darnell is ordering food for a party. He can get 2 pizzas and 8 sandwiches for $65. Or he can get 5 pizzas and 3 sandwiches for $77.50. What would be the total cost of 1 pizza and 1 sandwich? Wow. Does anybody know where to start on this problem?
You gotta see what you're given.
Okay, so identify your given. So you got 2 pizzas and you got 8 sandwiches for 65.
Yeah.
So how can we assign our variables? What should we assign our variables to?
X pizza, Y sandwiches.
Perfect. I love it. X is pizza, Y is sandwiches. Okay, so we know that everywhere we see pizza, there's going to be an X. And everywhere we see sandwiches are going to be a Y. That's the most important step when you're trying to solve a system of equations. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so my first equation is going to be what?
The 2 pizzas. You got 2 here, and then you have, oh, okay,
2x plus 8y.
yeah.
So 2x, 2 pizzas, because X stands for pizzas,
Yeah,
plus
2
8
plus 8y
8y equal what?
equal
65.
65.
Then you
What is going to be
got,
our second equation?
you're gonna have 5y.
5y.
I mean 5x. I'm sorry.
5x
5 plus 3y equals 7750.
Oh my goodness, why did they give me this? And I'm the one made this problem. Okay. Oh my goodness, I didn't want to be this difficult. Now let me show you this. I'm gonna show you this problem, right? I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna walk through the problem. You won't get a system of equations that's this. Remember, the 3 types of system of equations I showed you should be ready for. If the variables are the same, if they're different signs, or if they're multiple. If you notice here, none of these are multiples, none of them are the same, and none of them are opposites. So the problem here is, and this is what you have to do in college. This is what you have to do in maybe either your 12th grade year in high school or your first year of college. So I'm gonna show you the difference of what you would do. Because we have no 2 coefficients that are the same, we don't have 2 coefficients that's opposite, and we don't have coefficients that are multiples of each other. This is what we're gonna do. Watch this.
You're gonna make it negative?
I'm gonna multiply this one by minus
yeah,
5
5,
to
okay.
get 10.
to get minus 10. I'm gonna multiply this one by 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Why? Because I want, remember, my main goal is to eliminate one of the variables. So if you notice, minus 5 times 2x is minus
It's
10x.
It's negative, yeah. Negative.
And then 2 times 5 is
It's
10x.
10.
So
Right.
now I'll know I'll get rid of one of the variables. So let me use the distributive property. What is minus
Okay.
5 times 2x?
Minus 10x.
Minus 10x.
What is minus 5 times 8y?
Minus 40.
Plus 40.
Minus 40 what?
Y.
Y.
What is minus 5 times 65?
I'll check my calculator.
That's right. That's what you do. What'd you get?
Negative 5 times 65 is a negative 325.
Okay,
You
so
got it already.
no, Mr. Tizzy, how did you write that so quick? How did you do 5 times 65? I'm gonna break it down to you. 65 times 5, right? Can be broken down. I can break 65 down to 60 plus 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how to multiply any number that's a power of 10. 5 times 6 is 30. How many zeros do I have? 1, so I add a 0. 5 times 5 is 25. Add them together, 325. Stop playing. The more mental math you can do, the more confident you're going to be going into that exam. So even though you can use your calculator for it, what I would say is try the mental math first to see if you can get it. Why? Because you're going to add that confidence to your repertoire. Okay, so we got minus 325. Now we're going to go to the second equation. I'm going to change my color in that second equation. I'm going to change it to green. So what is 2 times 5x?
It's
10x.
10x. What is 2 times 3y?
6y.
And then what is 2 times 7750?
155.
Why? Because 70 and 70 is 140. 750 times 2 is 15. Now, what you should notice when you combine these equations, what happens to the 10x's?
They cancel.
They cancel out.
Yeah.
Bam. Now I'm going to combine minus 40y and plus 6y. What do I get?
Minus 34y.
Equal, and what's minus 325 minus 55?
It's minus 480.
So minus 325 and 155.
We're gonna add them.
That's what I
You go-
got, negative 480.
Yeah.
So if you have a negative number
Negative
let me just-
170.
and a positive number, what do you do
Okay.
to the two numbers?
Okay, subtract.
Minus 170.
Yeah.
Very important for you to understand. If you have two different signs, you subtract the two numbers and keep the sign of the largest number. So
You exactly
minus,
right.
so minus 170. Now to get y by itself, what do we need to do?
Divide by
Divide.
35.
Divide by what?
Minus 35.
Minus 30 what?
Yeah,
4.
34.
34. Mhm. And what is negative 170 divided by negative 34?
5.
Negative 5.
No, 5.
5.
Because minus 5.
Oh, it's right. There's a positive 5.
So
Yeah.
we know that sandwiches cost $5. But the question
Okay.
they're asking is what will be the total cost of one pizza and one sandwich? So this is the point I'm trying to make to you right now. If I know a sandwich costs $5, let's look at the multiple choice. What multiple choice? If the sandwich costs $5,
Mm-hmm.
let's look at the multiple choice. What multiple choice can we get rid of?
We're gonna plug 5.
475 and the $5.
Can we get rid of the 6?
No.
So
Well-
if a sandwich costs $5. You tell me a sandwich and a pizza costs $6?
No.
So common sense tells you I'm
No.
done.
Yeah, you got
Because
the
I can get
answer
rid
right
of
there.
because both of them are not going to cost $6 if the sandwich costs $5. But let's be sure.
I'll put you
So
somewhere
common
else.
sense tells you I can eliminate the. So that's what I mean by once you have part of an answer, if you look at your multiple choice, a lot of times you can eliminate it. Right here, we eliminated 3. You know it can't
Yeah.
be $4.75 because the pizza sandwich costs $5. It can't. Both of them can't cost less.
It costs, right.
They can't cost the same. So we know
Right.
$4.75 and $5 are definitely out. And it don't make sense that a pizza is going to cost $1.
No.
But
No.
but let's do it algebraic. Let's make sure we do it all the way out. So I'm gonna erase this here.
Okay.
So if we know these sandwiches $5, where am I going to take this 5? What am I going to do to it? I'm gonna do what?
You gonna plug it in?
I'm gonna
Plug
plug
it
it in
in.
to any one
Yeah.
of those equations. I'm going
Yeah.
to plug it into the first one. I don't like using, 50 cents. I'm gonna use whole dollars. So 2x plus 8 times 5 equals 65. 2x plus 40 equals 65. Subtract 40 from both sides.
Mhm.
We get 2x equal 25. To
Mhm.
get x by itself, we need to divide both sides by 2.
Mhm.
X
Yeah.
equal 12.50.
12.50.
So
Yeah.
each pizza, so they could ask you, they could say how much the pizza costs. They can ask you how much the sandwich costs. In this question, they asked you how much one of each would cost. So I have
And
to
that
add
adds
the
up to-
12.50 plus 5,
And
and
the
we get what?
17.50.
Stop
17.
playing. Y'all gonna be ready for this test. Y'all got some knowledge tonight. You better stop playing.
Stop
I
playing.
know. Listen, I know some people feeling good tonight because you're looking at it and you looked at your practice test, you looked at your real test, you know what gave you problems. Because what we just did tonight, I gave you the one of the most missed questions with circle that you're gonna work on to make sure you understand. I went over 4 to 5 questions that you're probably gonna see in terms of linear equations. Now 4 to 5, but you might have up to 10 questions that covers those areas. And then I gave you a system of equations problem. And this is way more difficult than any problem that you're going to see on the GED. So if you understood this and can go through this and understand it, you're going to be so ready for the GED exam. But what's going to also help you is you can go to Schoology and you can practice on any area that's giving you difficulty.
That's what I need
Okay.
to practice.
Practice makes perfect. You better stop
Yes.
playing. You better stop it. So guess what? It's almost 7 o'clock, so I don't want to start a new problem. But is there any questions I can answer before we leave tonight? Let me see. Is there any more questions on here that I can do quickly? Oh, where's that subtraction problem?
What is that?
Where's that problem? Definitely gonna see a question like that. Definitely gonna see a question like that. Definitely gonna see a question like that. And this again, this is a practice test that's on Schoology. So a lot of these problems you're going to see on the exam.
Mm.
I'm looking for a particular question. Again, that's why you go on Schoology and you take those practice exams, because this is going to give you, you can not do well here, but it don't count, right?
Right.
So if you
Yeah.
practice here and improve your skills, what I want you to be able to do is when you get to your test and you take it, not only are you going to finish 40 to 60 minutes early, but you're going to feel so confident when you leave the exam, you're like, wow, I got this. I passed it this time. This is the one I wanted to do right here, real quick. Again, I don't want you to go over specific questions that's on the GED, because we want to be right, but the type of problems we can talk about. So this problem here is a question that is asking for the missing value given the mean. Hold on, Mr. Tensley. I don't ever remember practicing that. I don't remember going over that. Let me see if I can find that missed questions again. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Where did you go? You didn't come up. Missed questions.
Well, that's the one
Let
you
me
got
see.
the opposite.
Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. It's not on this one. Wow, very interesting. So they have another most missed questions that came out after this one. Okay, so for some reason I can't find that one. So and I was looking for it, but I can't find it. So I apologize for that. So let's go over this problem real quick so you can see it. I got so many things open. So find the missing value given the mean. Let me write that in so you understand that's not finding the mean. The mean is already given. So let me text, find the missing value given the mean. Okay. So what do we know?
Okay.
What do we know?
We know that the grades that she received on 3 tests.
Okay. What else do we know?
Then we know the average to be 80 or higher.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's another word or the statistical word in central tendency for average?
A mean.
Mean.
It's mean.
So average and mean are synonymous. So sometimes they'll say, what is the mean? Sometimes they'll use the word average. You got to be prepared. So they gave you that the mean. So now, how do we find the mean? We add the scores up, right? And then we divide by how many there are. Well, if you're given the mean, you want to go backwards.
Going to time it.
So times it. So 80 times 4 is what?
86.
8 times 4.
320.
There you go.
8 times 4 is 32. How many zeros do you have? 1. So what we did was, what's the lowest grade on a 4th exam? This is where we got that 4 from, because they're going to be 4 exams. 80 times 4 means we would have to have at least a total of 320 points.
Right.
To have at least an 80 average. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
So now we're going to add these 3 scores up, because this is the total points that we have now. So 6 and 4 is 10 plus 8 is 18. Put down your 8, carry your 1. Now I'm not using the calculator, but you could use the calculator. 6 and 7 is 13. Plus 1 is 14. Plus 8 is 22. So right now I have a total of 228 points. How many do I need?
You need, you got to subtract.
You got to subtract. So 320
from
minus 228 is what?
92.
Stop playing. Ooh. I just gave you about 8 to 10 problems on your exam in one night. I don't know about you, but I would be excited. I'll be like, I'm ready to get on Schoology and start take some practice tests. But look, it is 7 o'clock. I hope you, if this was your first time here, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you have your email.
Yeah, it's my first time.
Good. I'm glad. So did you enjoy yourself for the first time?
Yeah, because I think I've been like immersed in all your videos like all day, stuff like that. That's how I know all this stuff because I've been listening to you.
Oh, stop playing. Don't try to make me
Seriously.
feel, don't try to butter me up.
No, listen, I've never seen half of this stuff.
Wow.
Never seen it. And then I just kept watching it, taking notes, writing it down, learning, because I plan to take my test sometime down the road.
So did I give you access to Schoology?
I know, and I
right,
also want to get the ebook too.
Okay, so the ebook is on passgedmath.com. You can purchase it there. Make sure you send me an email reminding me to give you access to Schoology so you can use those practice problems.
Okay. All right.
Don't forget. Don't blame it on my
Oh.
heart. Blame it on my mind. I'll be very busy. So send me that email so I won't forget.
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you because I'm very tenacious about what I need to know.
Oh, no problem. No problem. So listen, everybody have a wonderful night. I look forward to each of you passing. Remember, if you have a test coming up, contact me, make sure so you can do that one-on-one so we can make sure you're 100% ready to take that exam and pass.
Okay. Thank you.
Everybody have a
you.
good night. You're welcome.
You too. Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
You give me
Bye-bye.
hope, Mr. T. You give me a lot of hope. I want to let you know that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tinsley.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
You too.